What's going on, guys, and welcome to Who to Sign For. Now in this series I'm giving you my recommendations on what players to sign for a specific team in career mode. Before we go on, I will say that the signings you'll see aren't designed to be realistic, and the player ratings and potentials of the players may vary depending on what database you're using and how they perform for you during the season. Obviously you don't have to follow all the tips. This is really just a set of guidelines to give you a hand if you're stuck for ideas and want some suggestions on what players you could sign for a certain club. This is mainly aimed at those who are out there who may be new to the game and just need a little bit of advice, or for those who are out there just want a few recommendations on what players to sign for a team that you may be using in career mode this year. And today's episode is an interesting one. Yep, first time I think ever in any Who to Sign For series I've done where I'm going to choose a Belgian team. That's right, Club Brugge of the Belgian Pro League, the winners of the Belgian Pro League last year. I thought they'd be a great team and a bit of a unique team to use as well. If you're looking for a team outside of the traditional top 5 European leagues but you want to stay in Europe and still be able to qualify for the Champions League, I think the Belgian Pro League's a really good option. Several really good teams to use, and I thought I'd use the winners this year, Club Brugge, in the fabulous picturesque city of Brugge itself. Now, Club Brugge are a really interesting team, and obviously they've got a fantastic history. They've got a great history of producing young talent. They have some really good young talents in the game here already. When you take over, you've got Decatelaire, Noah Lang, who I think is going to leave Club Brugge in the summer, I believe, and of course you've got one of the best young, high potential, highest growth centre backs in the game. That's right, Noah Mbamba, who started with just 16 years old. He's still a kid, 64 rated, but he's got 88 potential. That's right, nurture this guy and he'll become the best centre back in world football in your save with Club Brugge. Now, Club Brugge, as you can see, are a 4-star team, and for a Belgian Pro League, start off a really good transfer budget. You're looking at around £24 million in Season 1. For a Belgian Pro League side, that's a lot of money. But what comes with a big budget, relatively speaking? Big objectives. Yeah, in Season 1, you've got a real challenge on your hands. You've got to win a domestic double in Season 1. Club Brugge didn't do that in real life, didn't win the cup, though of course they did win the league. And you've got to reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Now, if you saw earlier when I showed you the group, just getting through the group, just finishing third, will be an achievement on its own. And why is that? Well, you've probably got the toughest group in the Champions League with Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester City and RB Leipzig. Yeah, the board will ask you to reach the quarterfinal in Season 1. In my opinion, I say sod it. I literally would say in the first season with Club Brugge, forget playing in Europe. You might as well throw backup sides out there against Man City, PSG and RB Leipzig, because you know you're not going through and you're probably not even going to get third either. I'd forget all about it and just focus on the domestic competitions. In terms of players with Club Brugge though to sell, we had 4 players on the transfer list here. You'll notice it's a really young team, Club Brugge, some really fantastic talent, but there are a few players in their 30s you might want to shift on. One of those is Ruud Vormer. This is an interesting one. I didn't have him on the transfer list initially, but this guy's 33 years old. You can get better, and we sold him to Stade Rennais 7.5 mil. I also recommend selling this guy, Federico Rica. He's a young South American fullback. Well, I say young, he's in his mid-20s right now. He's alright. His starting overall is okay, and for the Pro League it's not bad at all, but a left back, he can play centre-half. That's a secondary position, but Club Brugge play a 3 at the back system. Personally, I would sell in the first year. I'd also recommend retraining Eder Balanta as well. He's the South American former football manager wonder kid. If you remember, he was one of the best wonder kids in FM many years ago now. I would retrain him from holding mid to centre back. You'll see we did that. He grew 2 ratings. He is 5'11", so not the tallest. I need to miss out on a lot of girls on Tinder's criteria, but he's more than good enough to play centre half. Yeah, no doubt about it. His defensive stats suggest that's where he'd be best at, and again, even 5'11", it's not that small, girls of Tinder, and it's not too small to be a centre back either. Yeah, I'd retrain centre half. He grew 2 ratings. But for new signs with Club Brugge, again, really good starting budget. Where would I look at strengthening? Well, to me, I would definitely say a new CM. We sold Vormer to Stade Rennais, and of course Balanta is going to be phased back to centre half, so I do recommend bringing in a new central midfielder. You've got Ritz, who I would think is probably a little bit better playing deeper in this team, and I'd recommend bringing a new natural CM. And my first choice would be this guy, Aurel Mangala of Stuttgart. He's a solid young midfielder. Starts off 23 years old, 76 rated. And what I really like about this guy is he's one of those sort of players who can play further forward, deeper or right through the heart of the middle of the pitch. To me, however, where I would play Mangala is right through the middle. He's got really solid stamina to begin with, 77, medium work rates, and he's a really good dribbler of the ball as well. So sitting deeper in this team as a anchor man, you wouldn't get the best out of his key stats. So in my opinion, with Club Brugge playing a 3-5-2, I'll play him through the middle of the park, right through the heart of the middle, and drop Ritz to DM, where I think he'd be better suited as the anchor man. I'd also recommend a new winger with Club Brugge as well. Now, you might notice we've got Noah Lang, who again, I think is going to leave in the summer in this transfer window with Club Brugge. I would actually play him as a winger in this system, his natural LW position, and not up top, where he spent most of last year playing in Belgium. And I would recommend a new winger to play on the right side with Lang on the left. There's only one name I would recommend bringing in. Yeah, primary and probably sole transfer target on the right-hand side. Who is it? Jeremy Doku, of course. You know all about this guy. Another wonder kid in FM, and he's amazing in FIFA career mode as well. Moving on from Anderlecht, now plays for Stade Rennais. You can get him for just a little bit over the valuation. They won't hold you to ransom. And this guy, man, unbelievable. Again, 19 years old. I think he starts off 75 rated or 76, but he's got 85 potential. And what I love about this guy, absolutely rapid. Yeah, this guy is lightning. Once he gets in behind the back line, forget about it. 4-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot, and again, just 19 years old. Already more than good enough to be a starting winger. He'll be there for all the years you're with Club Brugge. He's an amazing young Belgian talent. I definitely recommend bringing him back to the Pro League and playing for you at the Jan Breidel Stadium. I'd also recommend selling Bas Dost as well. You would have seen my transfer list, it was quite short, and I would recommend selling the Dutch striker too. Now, if you move Noah Lang to the wing like we did, he'd actually be a starting striker alongside the Ketelaere, the young Belgian talent, but I would personally cash in. His contract's up coming the end of the year, he's in his 30s, and whilst he's more than good enough to bang the goals in the Pro League, I would sell and look for a younger forward, definitely. And I'd also recommend selling Izquierdo as well. Another player who's just come in for the season, but if you can sell him, I'd definitely recommend getting the cash. 29 years old, 71 overall, I think he is. Yeah, you can definitely do better than that. So we sold Bas Dost to Roma for £5.5 million on the back of that sale, and the season ticket money came in as well. We had just about enough money to bring in a replacement striker. I guess you don't really need one because you got Openda out on loan. You can recall him. He's one of the best young Belgian strikers in the game, but I would keep him out on loan, maximise his development, getting regular game time elsewhere, and bringing a new striker to partner De Ketelaere if you're going to keep Noah Lang on the wing, which is what I would recommend on the left-hand side. And if you're watching my La Liga career mode right now, you might remember this guy. You might know all about him. Yep, Luis Javier Suarez, the Colombian of Granada CF. He bangs in the goals on a regular basis in my La Liga career mode. I would recommend bringing him to Bruges. No doubt about it, this guy is an absolute bargain buy in this year's FIFA career mode. And why is that? His contract is up come the end of the year. That means you can get him for under the valuation. We spent just over 10 mil to get him. That's an absolute steal for the Colombian. He starts off 76 rated, so higher rated than Bas Dost. He's 23 years old, so almost a decade younger, and this guy is an absolute physical monster. High medium work rate, 4-star weak foot. He's rapid, he's strong, not the best jumper, but a great finishing, attack position, and shot power stat as well. In the Belgian Pro League, this guy will bang them in left, right, and centre. Definitely pick him up to partner De Ketelaere if you do opt to sell Bas Dost and move Noah Lang to the wing. So after the sale even of Izquierdo to Nantes, we had just about enough money left over to bring in 1 or 2 more signings. And also we sold a couple of CMs here with Club Brugge, and also swapped Dennis Adoy out of the club as well to bring in Mangala. So you want a little bit more depth through the middle of the park. I definitely recommend two of these players on a short list here. You got Elliot Matazo of Monaco. This is a young Belgian midfielder, 72 rated, but just 19 years old with 83 potential. We know Monaco are really good at developing young talent. I mean, the list would be as long as my arm just in the past decade if I was to talk about all the young talent they developed, but I would bring this guy back to Belgium to play at the Jan Breidel Stadium. You can get him for just over the valuation, which is an absolute steal. He's on a really low weekly wage as well, and at 19 years old with 83 potential, you can either maximise potential, put him straight in the first 11, or have him coming off the bench as an energy impact sub. That's what I'd recommend doing. Really solid young midfielder. with high work rates and really good all-round stats as well. 3-star, probably not the best when it comes down to a box-to-box type of player. His attacking stats aren't the best, low finishing for example, but he's got CM and CDM list of positions, the high work rates, you know I love that, and a great young Belgian talent to add to the ones you've got here already. And I had just about enough money to bring in one final signing. I tried to swap Standard Liège Mitrovic, a Croatian defender here with not much starting ability or potential, for Nicholas Raskin, who I just showed you a moment ago there. He's another great young Belgian talent, just 20 years old, 70 rated with those high work rates, which you know I love. And fortunately, we were able to get him for under the valuation here, plus a sell-on clause too. This though was, this was scraping the barrel and then some. 2.35 mil plus a sell-on clause is what we negotiate with Standard Liège for a really good deal for a player under the valuation there. 70 rated, 20 years old. He grows 11 ratings to 81 overall at his potential, and again, great energetic midfielder with my favourite trait in the game, the solid player trait as well. Bonus is on a really low contract, and whilst in the first season at 70 overall, he won't see that many minutes on the pitch. He's here as emergency cover as part of Club Brugge's midfield trio, and the sort of player that will grow nicely in the background in Season 1 and Season 2, and with 81 potential, he'll grow into being a starter or a great energy box-to-box midfielder off the bench. Yep, definitely recommend bringing in Matazo and Raskin if you can afford them both. Those two, plus Mangala as well, that's 3 great young Belgian centre-halves getting picked up. So with Club Brugge in the end, as you can see, in Season 1 we sold 4 players. Izquierdo going to Nantes, Bas Dos to Roma 5.5 mil, Vormer went to Stade Rennais 7.5, and we sold Ricker, the 26-year-old fullback as well. So we sold those players for not a lot of money, but because Club Brugge started off with a really good budget, we didn't need much money to add to our starting budget to pick up the great young Belgian talent. None better than Jeremy Doku, of course, at 76 overall, but also Mangala coming in, he's 76 overall, and then the youngsters for the bench / the reserves. Matazo, 72 overall with 83 potential, and also Raskin coming in from Standard Liège as well. So with Club Brugge, in the first season, we made our team much younger and a little bit better as well. The question was, could we hit those really, and I mean really strong objectives? Yeah, great starting budget with Club Brugge and a great tie to start off with young talent, but first season's a real challenge, man. Champions League, get to the quarter-final with PSG, Leipzig and Man City, and win a domestic double as well. Very tough objectives as per usual, simulate the end of the season, and as you can see, well, I was very interested to show you this. In the league, I felt very confident we'd won the Pro League. In Belgium, the league splits into 2 towards the end of the season. It's a really interesting concept, very unique indeed. It's kind of like the Scottish Premier League, not too dissimilar to it, where you have the league split into 2. You got the championship playoff round, and also I believe the second round, if you will, in Belgium. The 4 teams, the top 4 teams going to the championship round, and I think they half the points as the teams going to the championship round. It's something like that. Belgian football fans can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when you get to the final stage, the teams get their points halved and then go into the final 4-team group, if you will, where they play each team twice in a 6-game playoff competition, if you will, mini competition towards the end. But we won the league. I felt very confident we'd do that, but the reason my manager rating was so low, well, I said it's a challenge in Season 1, and it is, but I thought we'd do a bit better than this. My goodness. Okay, Champions League, alright, one of the teams in our group won it. That was Paris Saint-Germain. You're not going to get through the Champions League group, as I said. You got RB Leipzig, Man City, and PSG, and Club Brugge might have a good starting budget, but it's nowhere near as big as those 3 clubs right there. You're not getting out of the group, so reaching the quarter-final, just forget about it. It's not going to happen, don't even worry about it. But the Cup was a major failure. Seriously, I thought, obviously we were asked to win it, but I would have taken semi-final or a final place. We were knocked out in round 1. Couldn't even get past the first round. Yeah, really bad failure there for Club Brugge, and that's why I come to the end of the season. You know me, I don't sweep anything under the rug or try and dress it up any other way. Pretty disappointing, I'll be honest. Okay, we won the Belgian Pro League. That's the most important of the 3 competitions in Season 1, but I thought we'd put up a bit of a better showing in the Cup and maybe scrape third in our Champions League group, but at least, if nothing else, get to the final four of the final 8 of the Belgian Cup. Couldn't even get past the third round. Very disappointing indeed. But the first season with Club Brugge, it's all about laying down the groundwork. You've got some great young talent here already. None better than Bam, of course, in the back line, and Sandra, the young playmaker as well. But in the first season, it's not a one and done type of FIFA career mode, this Club Brugge save. It's all about developing the young talent. You've already got like De Ketelaere, bringing in some more good young Belgian talent, like the likes of Jeremy Doku, who we're showing right here, and Mangala, who we went past as well, and building for the future. Year after year, Club Brugge should be able to compete for Belgian Pro League titles and Belgian Cups as well. If you want to be a major player in Europe and winning their first ever major European honour, it's a long-term project and you've got to build for the future. So not the best season one. It wasn't disastrous because we won the league, but it certainly could have been better. But for a great challenge, I definitely recommend Club Brugge. Good amount of money to play with in the Belgian Pro League, but really tough objectives in season one. Definitely give them a go, guys. Really worthwhile doing an RTG with these boys. But that will end today's episode of Who to Sign For, guys. Big fan of you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Who to Sign For very soon.